Okay, moving on to FX. So this is the pound dollar. Okay, pound dollar weekly chart. Now, is this bullish or bearish to you? What do you guys think? Pound dollar weekly chart, is this bullish or bearish to you? Not really, Hunty. Pound actually recovered quite a bit after Brexit, surprisingly. Okay, it looks bearish to you. Why? Is it because of this resistance? Okay, so as long as we stay below this high, so this is the previous high. As long as we stay below, oops, sorry. As long as we don't break this high, right? We are so called between a downtrend consolidation because right here we got a double bottom. So double bottom signals that the bulls are, the bears are losing momentum to the downside. Therefore, it might make a push higher, and hold and behold, it did. Okay, it made double bottom, and it pushed all the way up to the next level of resistance around the 1.340, 1.35 or so. Okay, so there's a lot of strong resistance around this area. Okay, so this is the daily chart. You can see that this level here, the 1.34 area, has very, very good resistance levels here. You see that? So now, even though if you're bearish, now when you say you're bearish, right? Where's who's it bearish? Okay, Mr. Lim and Gary, right? Now you said bearish is based on the which chart? Weekly chart, right? Okay, because if I ask you how does this daily chart look like, would you say bearish? Not really, right? You probably say what? Sideways. Correct? You probably say sideways, but this is a daily chart. Okay, so ask yourself which time frame are you planning to trade on? If you are planning to trade off the weekly chart, yeah, fair enough. It's near resistance. Technically, it's still in a downtrend, even though it made a double bottom here, but we're quite far from the double bottom, so there's still some meat. So technically, weekly chart is still in a downtrend. We are very close to strong resistance 134. However, daily chart is still sideways. Okay, so what you want to do as a trader is, if your bias is based on a weekly chart, you need to plan your trade maybe on a 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart and look for reversal around this key resistance area. Because if it's going to go down, most probably it's going to go down from there, because there's a key level to watch out for. The strong key resistance to watch out for. Okay, but right now there's no indication on that. All right, everything just gotta be patient if you're bearish. Okay, so where you base your bias or your trading decision from is very important, right? So that you can understand which time frame to look at, how to manage expectations. Okay, but daily chart, this is very, very close to daily resistance. Let's see a 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart is still, look how different look how different it is. 4-hour chart is bullish. So different time frames really play a big part in trading. Okay, 4-hour chart looks bullish, but the rest looks sideways or even bearish. Okay, look at daily chart, look at this, very sideways. Okay, so plan the trade based on different time frames. Okay, so if you have a long-term weekly bearish stance, then you need to wait for the daily chart to at least react downwards from this 134 area. Because if it breaks 134, then there's no way that the weekly chart is going down or continue a downtrend. You get what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to combine two different time frames so that you can have a better analysis of the market. Okay, this pound dollar. Now the other thing, we're talking about FX, right? Let me just run through one example that I did in terms of the trade plan that I did last week. Okay, so this was Euro Sing. Now, let me just run through a trade plan. It's basically something I want to do every week with you guys so that you know the kind of trades that I always look out for. So this is a Euro Sing trade. Okay, Euro Sing. Now, taking a look at this is the weekly chart, right? You can see a weekly chart is pretty much sideways. Yes, some of you say it broke this support, but however, we are at different level of support near the 1.5. Okay, so weekly chart is still in a downtrend, but technically there's a chance that it might make one more push up to lower term time frame. Okay, so it's pretty much consolidation of weekly chart. Now look at the daily chart. Now daily chart looks different, isn't it? This is bullish, right? And what I like is that it's bouncing off a key support level and a lot of indecision candles, meaning that buyers are thinking whether to buy up again. And zooming in, you can use things like pivot points. So you see that this blue line is not only a support line, but you can use pivot points as support as well. Okay, but again, it starts from the daily chart. Your buys to buy, therefore you are looking for support levels to get into. Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart. You can see a difference, how it's coming down and forming support. And zooming in further, you can even look at the 1-hour chart. Okay, 1-hour chart, you can see a very nice inverse head and shoulders with all kinds of resistance here. So the trade plan is that the trade plan is to, if it breaks the resistance, it's your time to go in. Okay, this is the 15-minute chart. This was the 1-hour chart. So 15-minute chart, we enter somewhere here. Okay, so that's the Euro Sing trade plan. Now what happened if you're keen is that it shot up all the way till near the previous high. I didn't take any profits because I was I was distracted. And what happens is that Yellen came out to speak at Jackson Hole on Friday 10 p.m. and my whole profit got wiped out. Thank goodness I moved my stop to break even. But basically, yeah, basically the whole profit from this particular trade got wiped out, got it reversed. Okay, so just be mindful of news all the time. But basically, why I wanted to show you my setup is because I wanted you to see how to use different time frames to plan the trade. So you can see how I started weekly, and then I use a daily chart, and then I zoom into 1 hour, 4 hour, 15 minutes, execute the trade. Okay, any questions? Alright, now any specific pairs you want me to cover? Okay, let me move on to some FX pairs then. Okay, this is another chart I'm eyeing recently, pound cat. So you can see that, let's go to the weekly chart first, okay? Okay, you can see the weekly chart, it looks quite similar to the previous chart. It is definitely in a downtrend, definitely in a downtrend. However, it's make a double bottom here, so you can see that it's a bit more consolidating right now. Okay, the daily chart, alright, nice reversal to the upside. I wouldn't call it an uptrend. Okay, it might be an uptrend on the lower term time frame, but this is not uptrend to me. This is just a push all the way to resistance level. So if I draw my line across, okay, so you can see the daily chart. You can see compare the weekly and daily chart. Okay, weekly chart, like I mentioned, looks very bearish, isn't it? All the moving averages pointing down. But if you look at daily chart, you can see a mini revival. Look at that. Okay, but it's still consolidating. It's still consolidating. Yep. So the trade plan is this. If I see that my weekly chart, okay, we are at somewhere near resistance. Okay, however, my daily chart is sideways. Okay, same thing. What I want it to do is, if my trade plan is based on a weekly chart resistance, which is around the 174 area, I want to see how my daily chart reacts to this area first. Okay, if my trade plan is based on a weekly chart, which means that I need to be patient for a turnaround near the 174 level. Okay. However, if I am targeting something like an intraday trade, okay, I can draw a support somewhere here, and I say that, alright, doesn't matter about resistance, that's a long-term swing chart setup. I prefer to try to buy up at the support here and target the previous high as my take profit. Okay, so this is shorter term time frame analysis. So anywhere near the support, near the 117,134, look for lower term time frame, change the trend, and then try to take it up. Okay, because don't forget this is the daily chart, it's still pretty long term. Okay, so if you look at the 4-hour chart, for example, okay, you can see that it made a nice retracement. I prefer to retrace slightly more, maybe to the 17150 or so, but we'll see what happens. Okay, but the daily trade plan is certainly you can take it up to at least somewhere here. That's an intraday kind of trade plan. Okay, here, somewhere here. Let me this line. All right, any questions? So I'm just using two different time frames to illustrate to you which time frame you take depends on what trade plan you are looking for. This is very, very important. Okay, any other FX pairs that you want to cover? Kiwi, is it Kiwi against what, Gary? Kiwi dollar, okay, 1 second, yeah. Last I checked, Kiwi dollar looks quite bullish. Okay, so if you look at the Kiwi dollar, definitely nice uptrend. You see, high, low, high, low. Now a new potential high. Okay, let's see whether there's any resistance up ahead. It's broken through really nice resistance around the 73 cent area. Okay, seems to be wanting to move up higher. Going to the daily chart. Okay, the daily chart, yes, it also looks very bullish. It's just that you got to be very mindful of all this area here, resistance. Okay, but it seems like you want to break it. It seems like it wants to break it. My only concern is that if it breaks it, whether there'll be a divergence, a bearish divergence on MACD. Because if you look at MACD, it's making a lower high here, but the price, if it breaks upwards, making a high. So this might be called bearish divergence. But price has not broken higher yet. Okay, it's still at the resistance area in my opinion. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you go to a 4-hour chart, you can see there's a very clear range bound. So I would say that if you're bullish on Kiwi dollar based on a higher term time frame, I would say let it break this resistance clearly first, around the 73.40 first. Okay, because right now it's still very much range bound. Okay, because very much range bound means this still resistance to me. For all you know, it might fall all the way back down to the 72 cents as a range bound kind of trade. Okay, but daily looks good to the upside, weekly looks good to the upside, it's just that there's no entry yet. Yeah, so maybe what you want to do is either let it break the resistance around 73.40, or you can let it retrace, let's see, down to this level here before taking up again. Okay, but Kiwi dollar looks bullish, so just be mindful. Looks nice and bullish. Of course, when there's news, right? If you have news, right, just throw the technicals in the drain for a while. Okay, let the news come up first, because sometimes news can change the whole landscape. Okay, dollar sing, is it? Okay, let me try dollar sing. Okay, let's see dollar sing weekly chart. Now dollar sing, I think I highlighted last time that the 134 area. Let me just delete some of the lines. Okay, there's a massive support at the 134 level here. Okay, very nice support here. So the weekly is in a downtrend, but it shows a sign of consolidating or reversing. So this to me is a consolidation because see how bottomish this looks like in 134? Okay, very bottomish, isn't it? Now let's go to the daily chart. Okay, daily chart is where you can have a better picture of how consolidating it is. So you can see that 134 definitely looks very nice support level, bounce off many times, very clear. Right now the key resistance is near the 13650 or so, so it's still very much range bound. Okay, it's between 13380 to about 13640. All right, but the trade plan for dollar sing is that right now I'm pretty neutral to it. Okay, so it might just range bound up and down, up and down. But key thing to watch out for is the 13640 area because if it breaks clearly, I'm looking to push it up all the way to 1375. Okay, but right now daily is very sideways. All right, so even if you want to trade, just be mindful of the key level, which is the 13640, as well near the 13380 level. Okay, it's still pretty sideways on the dollar sing. All right. Any other FX pairs that you're looking at? Hunty, okay, Hunty's question, that means it's okay to go for the Sing dollar a bit more for medium term. Okay, when you say medium term, what's your time horizon? Now, in beginning, you said that, you know, fundamental wise, US might hike interest rates, therefore dollar might strengthen against the Sing, right? Yeah, it is possible. But let me just show you how to combine your fundy with technicals. Okay, so if your bias is bullish based on the opinion that the Fed will hike rates, therefore the USD is strengthened. Okay, the key level that you want to buy at is that if it breaks this resistance level near the 13640 or so. Okay, because if it doesn't break, then no matter what the Fed does, even though a high interest rate, if the market doesn't want to push the dollar up, means it doesn't want to push dollar up because it's sentiment driven. So if there's news that the US might hike rate soon, and if it breaks key resistance around the 13640, yeah, then by all means look for short-term charts setup, and you might be able to potentially ride a longer-term trend. You get me, Hunty? So always try to blend your technicals and fundamentals together. But this is not a good level to buy dollar sing, I would say, because it's just range bound. Unless you tell me that it's back down 134, then maybe you can take a good risk to reward trade. If not, you want to at least break the 13640 first. Okay? Before buying up. Yep, that's dollar sing for any other pairs you want me to go through? There's nothing. I'll go through gold and silver before I wrap up the night. Okay, let me just move on to some commodities then. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about gold. Now, NFP came out last week, yes I know. But not surprisingly how gold and silver react, you see. So you see the circle I drew last week was where we were the previous webinar. Now if you look at the weekly chart of the gold, and gold and silver looks very similar. Okay, if you look at both charts, right? Now both charts looks very bullish. And look at where the NFP news reacted from. This is a bullish, I mean if you love chart pattern, this is a classic bullish flag. You see, this is a flagpole and this is a flag. Now you see how the market rebounded off this levels here, the 1300, and I circled this very explicit for you in the previous webinar. So this is a very nice and high probability kind of setup. Zhongzhang, yes, I'll cover Aussie dollar after gold and silver. Okay, but this is a very good probability setup if you manage to execute a buy trade near the 1300 because it's very good support. Markets are on uptrend and it's pulling back to support. Beautiful trade. This to me is a very bread and butter kind of setup that I would love to take. Okay, if you go to the daily chart, okay, you can see how the market reacted off this potential support level near the 1300. Okay, that's why I circled this area because I'm very paying attention to it. So the question is, how would you have taken the trade? So this is the daily chart. So again, pay attention near the 1300 level. Yeah? If you go to 1 hour chart, for example, okay, you can see this is where it reversed, isn't it? It was sideways here, but you can see the 1 hour is bottomish, meaning that it's showing that it might coincide with the daily uptrend. And then it pushed higher because this was the NFP candle, so a bit hard to take the trade. Okay, and then there was a rebound back here. So you can have either taken it on Friday night after the NFP or another pullback here. But right now we're just pushing higher and higher. Okay, but I can see a turnaround here. I admit that this one's a bit more tricky because when it's sideways, right? Okay, for it to break out, it requires a kind of news. It's quite tricky to try to take an entry somewhere here because it was news period. So I would say it's quite impossible, and you don't want to expose yourself to too much risk. So but you just need to appreciate how the 1 hour chart hit support of the daily, and how it started consolidating before wanting to move higher. Okay, you see that? So that's for gold. Same thing can be said for silver. Okay, you can see silver. Let's see the weekly chart. Okay, you can see the silver weekly chart is very bullish. Let me zoom out a bit. All right, you can see that you make a new high here from this high. So it's a very nice uptrend. And look at this level here. This is the 1850 area. Let me just delete some of the lines so it's easier for you to see. Okay, this line here, look at how many times it touched 1850. Support, 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 resistance, support. And it's really, really very clear cut at this support level, and this weekly chart is still bullish. Alright, so it's a very nice level to take a long from. If you look at the daily chart, okay, you can see that it reacted near the 1354 here. Okay, again the question how you could have taken this area here on the lower term time frame. That's where let me try to pick up something in the 1 hour chart. So let me see, was this NFP 2nd September 2100? Yeah. Okay. So silver looks a bit more straightforward. You can see that it's bottoming out here. Somewhere here is bottoming out. And you can tell that resistance somewhere here. So the first reaction on S&P is that it broke above it. So nice, happy days to the bullish side. And this was a potential opportunity to take it long, pull back. Or even this here. Okay, but I'm just trying to combine different time frames to show you how the market reacted. So even though there's news, right? If you know your technical analysis, and you know that this is key support levels or in a high term time frame, alright, even during the news period, if you see the news pushing the trade to your direction, there's high chance there might be some trade entries here after it broke this resistance area. Okay, after it broke this resistance area. Okay, any question on gold or silver? If not, I'll cover, but it's very straightforward analysis for gold silver based on the previous support level. Okay, any questions on gold silver? Now I'll cover Aussie dollar. Okay, let's do Aussie dollar now. Okay, I think Aussie dollar, hold on, let me just I drew this chart pattern the other day. Okay, so the Aussie dollar weekly chart to me is consolidating some form of wedge. Key resistance for me is near the 78 cents. It needs to break above that. I mean, it has been on a very nice bearish downtrend all the way from 2015, 2016, but then now it started to consolidate a bit to find some kind of direction. Okay, key resistance to me, pay attention near the 78 cents. Let's go to the daily chart. Okay, you can see the daily chart, yes, high, 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 low, but right now, where we are, okay, this level here right now. See these two lines I drew? Oops, sorry. These two lines I drew here, the resistance around the 76 to 77. If it's going to drop, this is the level potentially to drop from, because this is a lower high kind of scenario. Okay, so pay attention at this area here. If it's going to drop, it might drop from here on the daily chart. Okay, so weekly chart is consolidating. Daily chart to me is also, it used to be uptrend, but now it's a bit more blurry. But just pay attention for that level here, where we are right now. Okay, anywhere between 76.40, 76.60, this level that might drop. 4 hour for me, there's no direction. It's just pretty mixed. So I suggest for Aussie dollar, use your daily and your weekly chart. Okay, because what's going to happen is that there might be a lot of resistance around here, and Aussie has taken a break. Remember, there's this little trend line around here on the weekly chart. So Aussie dollar might be taking a break around this resistance here and might start falling from here. Okay, so there's key level to look at, 74.50 to 74.70, I'll say. Okay, if you look at the weekly chart again, there's a high chance that we might be consolidating this level here. Yep, but it will take some time because weekly chart will take some time to move. You just need the lower term time frame to cooperate, and it needs to break this level here very clearly before we can talk about 78. Okay, but right now it's hit or miss time for the Aussie dollar around the 74.50 area where we are right now. Okay, because if this comes down, right, then this level here is a more or less confirm what I call a lower high, and the lower high is a confirmation of a reversal or a sideways market. This lower high, you get it? Okay, so if you see how lower highs are established, you can see that the market was uptrend, high, 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 and this is the first lower high. See here? And what happened was that the market reversed downwards. Alright, so lower high is the first sign that this is either reversal or is taking a breather. So just be careful if you want to buy Aussie dollar from here. Okay, Tong. Okay, any other particular currency pair or FX pair? Okay, if there's nothing again, this webinar, it will be oil, is it? Sorry, John. Is it Brent? Let me see Brent. But let me find a nice futures chart for you. Brent crude oil, October. Okay, I'm not touching oil because it has been rather tricky. Let's see the weekly chart. Okay, this is the support level. This is the resistance level. Okay, so if you look at the oil weekly chart, this is WTI. Yeah, you can see that it's a bit. I mean, this is a very big fat inverse head and shoulders. Okay, but you can see the market is unwilling to break above 50, and unwilling to break below $40. Sorry. So this $50, there'll be a lot of sideways kind of movement. So it's pretty consolidating for the weekly chart. On the daily chart, you can see that the market has no trend as well, which is why I'm staying away for oil. Not very clear. I don't want to force a trade for nothing, but it seems to be doing something like this on the daily chart. Kind of whenever you see a big V-shaped movement or things like that, more often than not, it's trying to consolidate. Okay, but if you zoom out a bit, don't forget this whole area is consolidation zone between $40 to $50. So I'm not a big fan of trading oil at the moment. Okay, if you want to squeeze an intraday trade in, you probably could look at this support level for it to break below and then target the 39 or so. But if you look at the 4 hours, yeah, nothing much to work on. Okay, so if you look at the daily chart, just draw this little wedge and try to use this as a gauge, especially if it falls to the extreme end. For example, this trend line support around the 4350 area here. Okay, but it's just very sideways, so I'm not that keen on trading this. Honey, is it palm oil? No, not that I know of. I don't think we offer palm oil, not for the Singapore markets. Yeah, maybe our other brokers, other markets have it, other countries have it, like IG, UK. But drop us an email and then I'll see whether we can arrange something for you. Alright, Hunty? Alright, there's no other questions again. Market is quiet, but just be patient, alright? Always remember to plan the trade and trade the plan. And yeah, if you need any, do refer to my recorded webinars if you want a bit more theory on how I analyze the charts and what kind of markets to look out for. Okay, so be very picky at the markets that you choose to trade. I would suggest picking trending charts for now and keep it intraday until the markets find some direction. Okay, if not, have a good night, everyone. Happy trading, and I'll see you soon. Take care.